I'm Gabriel Ritchie.
I'm Jeremiah McConan.
Welcome to the Richie and Meko Connection, episode 76.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Uh, um, Apologize for the delay. We do that a lot lately. Apologize for the delay. Um, crazy past couple weeks for Jay and I. We are back. The Celtics have just lost in overtime to the New York Knicks. Jaylen Brown had a chance to put us up two or put us up one at the line with about 7 seconds left and missed both free throws. Celtics still had a chance to tie at the very end and could not. Good game by the Knicks. Good game by Randall. They came in. They came to
Yeah,
play.
facts.
They were up
Yeah,
12
good
late,
shit,
and
Knicks.
Celtics roared back. And then we'll see. 3-game losing streak. I really wanted to come on here. I was at the Warriors game last week. The Celtics really showed some
Mm,
heart. And I'd even say I don't want to make this a habit, but after their losses in Florida versus Miami and Orlando, I said, I'll take a Golden State. I'll take one Golden State win over I'll take one Golden State win in two losses in Florida
I
rather
remember
than two
you
losses in Florida and one Golden State loss. I'll even go as far as to say
definitely.
one Golden State win is worth three losses to the other teams. Of course, I wish they could just win
Yeah,
them all, but we'll see. I'm not gonna. The world's not collapsing around me because the Celtics are on a 3-game skid heading into the All Star break.
bro. I just entered the fucking Matrix right now, bro.
You're right. Can you
This,
hear me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you. No, but like the Celtics game, because I have like the Celtics game in the background. Well, I had the game on, and then you know how it's supposed to be the Mavericks versus Suns next. Like they're doing a doubleheader. They're just showing the Celtics game again, bro.
That's
I just,
weird.
I just got weirded out for like the last 30 seconds. But yeah, no, I agree with you, bro. Literally, like that Warriors win was huge because, like, I mean, they lost to them the previous matchup when they played in Golden State, and Tatum was sick, and it felt like, bro, I think these are just like they're like it's their kryptonite. They can't get over them. But that was a big win, and then that was the last win, right? Because then they lost three
Basically,
straight
yeah, I
since.
believe so.
Oh, they yeah.
There
I
might
think
have
they
been
played
one game
Toronto.
after
Maybe like Toronto or
Toronto on
something
Saturday.
weird.
That was on.
Yeah,
That was during the divisional games.
yeah,
That
which is a
was
good
that was
transition.
that was opposite
Yeah,
Jaguars Chiefs, and Jaguars Chiefs was a
yeah,
close game, but it wasn't that exciting. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
We're in the football playoffs. No guests this week, by the way. Me and Jay, it's been a while, so we're just gonna catch up, and we got a
Yeah.
lot to run through. So there's only so many mouths to speak on this pod today. Uh, but we should have a guest for the Super Bowl. Maybe bring
Mhm.
Gene back, right, Jay?
Yeah,
He doesn't even know he's coming back on, but we'll probably have Gene
yeah.
back on.
We'll
Uh,
see.
yeah. So yeah, we haven't talked since the wild card. Let's see. Any notables from the wild card? I guess
Mm,
the Vikings are who many people thought they were. I tried
yes,
to zag. I thought the Vikings might pull it out at home. But yeah, that defense was Swiss cheese. The Giants didn't.
bad,
The
bro.
Giants look like the fucking '07 Pats. Um, and real quick, you had a couple Giants fans on Beat the Bookie on Connection
Yeah,
Media
I did.
or another podcast on our network, and
Yeah,
they were talking they were pumping their chests.
they're feeling,
And I
bro.
didn't
They
listen to the
convinced
whole thing
me.
because Jay
I'm not gonna lie.
they brought up '07 and 2011, and I thought it'd be like a 3-minute conversation because let's talk about the games that are gonna happen this week.
And it
But
was
no,
just
they went on for about
a walk
25
down
minutes.
how.
And then they stopped talking about the '07 team, and then they start talking about it again. And that's why I checked out. But Matthew Samuels, who's been on this show, compared Danny Dimes to Brady
They did.
at some point, and I I tweeted. He never responded to it, but I tweeted. He flew a little too close to the sun there.
Might not hear from Matt from a while, bro. That was that was a tough one on them.
Still a
But
great
yeah,
season.
it was.
Still a great season for the Giants. It wasn't their year.
Mm-mm.
It was a step in the right direction, though. That
Yeah,
they buzzsawed. They got buzzsawed by Philly.
that happens, bro. But yeah, I mean, because they were on, and when they were talking about the Giants, they convinced me. So I was like, at like when we did our predictions, finally, I was like, yeah, I think the Giants actually might pull this off. But I should have remembered that one, the Phillies just insane. That's first of all. We'll talk about them. But then two, like you said, they beat the Vikings. Um, I thought we were in the gulag for a second. I got scared. But they beat the Vikings, and it's like you said, worst defense. Kirk Cousins, and that
Who
man, that
played?
was a bad Vikings
That was a
loss
bad
though.
way to end the game, but Kirk Cousins
He was,
didn't play terrible. He didn't play terrible. I say that's
yeah.
more on the
What
defense.
would you give him a grade? Like he was probably like a B minus, C plus.
Sure. Sure.
Like
Sure.
I don't know, he wasn't good. Like that you can't make that throw.
At
That's like
the
you.
end, that
That's
was
what you get.
unacceptable. It was
That's the thing.
unacceptable.
That's what you get with Kirk Cousins. Like he'll like keep you in there. He'll make some good throws. He'll throw some dimes, but then he'll make that play where it's like, oh yeah, right. Like I can't win with this guy, no matter how talented the team is.
Yeah.
That was my biggest takeaway from the Vikings, like in that game. And then they had that third and one. They're doing like the Philly special, but like remix, and Kirk Cousins is doing laterals, trying to run it like he's fucking Debo Samuel. I don't know, bro. But yeah, the Giants like they beat the Vikings, who were just the cappers from. Yeah, they beat the Vikings, who were cappers from the jump, and then they ran into Philly, and I don't know, bro. I was drinking some of the Kool Aid because I really thought the Giants were at least
I
gonna
thought it
keep it
would be
competitive.
close. I did think it was
Yeah,
going to be a close game, not only because I thought the Giants were pretty good, which they were. They were pretty good. Philly could do this
they,
next week to San Francisco, and probably
they were
not.
better
San
than I
Francisco's
thought.
defense is a force, but Philly could maybe blow out
Yeah,
for San Francisco and then blow out whoever they play in the Super Bowl for all we know.
and
You
maybe
know,
yeah,
it
it could be
happens,
that.
right? They could just be world beaters with Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts playing because the only time they only lost one real game with Hurts all year, I think, and that was the game Dallas got hurt versus
that was
Washington on
the
Monday night.
Monday night. Yes,
Yep,
that game in that game, bro. Hurts was about to lead a crazy comeback or a comeback drive, and the
he's a leader.
you
Yeah,
remember like the dude dropped it that deep ass pass. I think I forgot his name, but they were clowning him on Twitter. Something Kez Watkins or some shit like that. But like, and then I remember seeing Philly fans tweet like, "Yeah, we might have lost this game with Hurts, but I felt good about him being my guy when it's like time to go for
yeah,
war."
yeah.
Which I mean, they haven't really needed Hurts yet. Like they handled the Giants like decent fashion, and Hurts didn't have to be
He
incredible. But I
balled
think they're
out. He can
gonna.
throw some bombs, and
He
he's
did his
very
thing,
composed. Yeah,
very composed, and he showed signs of it last year too. Like towards
he's
like when
not
he was,
sicko. I
he's
mean,
not. He's
he's
not a
like,
Josh
and by
Allen.
that I mean a lot of these guys are. Even our own Jay, we're gonna have to talk about Brady at some point. Even Brady in his prime always had to get the sicko throw out of him early. We saw it in the Seattle Super Bowl. We saw it versus the Atlanta. We saw it a billion times the past couple years in the Bucks. Like they just throw terrible passes sometimes. Burrow does it. Burrow gets sick. Allen obviously gets sick. Mahomes sometimes gets sick. I don't
Mm-hmm.
see much of that out of Hurts.
That's a good point. Yeah, he's special, bro. And they haven't like I was saying, they haven't really needed him to be Superman yet. But I think in this 49ers game, they're gonna need it. And he's shown me that he's like that's capable of him to do. Like he can if it's gonna be like one of those rough games, you need your quarterback to be that guy. I think he's capable of doing that. So yeah, that's gonna be a war, bro. But yeah, we'll cover them more when we talk divisionals. What else wild card that because I already shared most of my thoughts when I did my bets, but what else do
Yeah,
like
we could
you
just like
wanted to
bounce around team to team, I guess.
the Chargers, they chargered.
The Chargers, that was, I guess, the best game of the playoffs so far. Weirdest comeback
Probably.
ever because, and by the way, later today, we have two very cool segments for you to cap off the show.
Mm,
One is we're going to try to create the worst announce booth possible across basketball and football. Um, Feel
that's
free to
real hell.
comment or whatever, chime in, let us know if there's other sports that have terrible announcers that you would like to throw in. We're gonna do worst booth possible, which maybe we saw during that Jaguars Chargers game, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna do create the best. We're gonna draft the best studio guys, so halftime guys like the TNT guys and um you know the Fox crew, CBS, all
The
those
usual
basketball football. Yeah, the
usual
guys you see at
suspects.
halftime. Yeah, or before the
Yeah.
game. We're gonna do that at the end of the show. But that Chargers game, that was the weirdest comeback, not just because of the commentary, but because the Chargers went up. They went up, and it was like
They're
it was just
27-0.
Jaguars were just giving them easy like picks, short field, easy throws, wide
Yeah,
open, and they got off to a big lead early, which a 27-0 seems insurmountable, and oftentimes it is, but 27-0 in the first half isn't as bad as 27-0 like halfway through the third quarter, you know? Because all of a sudden
yeah,
27 to
definitely.
7 is a three-score game.
Yeah,
That's
right.
doable. That's three stops.
In two whole quarters. Yeah, you could definitely make something happen. Yeah, yeah. No, that was like I. If you told me like before we made those predictions that the Jags would win, but they were down 27-0 at one point, I still would have or like if you told me like the Jags were at one point down 27-0, period, I don't think I would have thought the Chargers was gonna win. But like if you also tell me the Chargers had a meltdown and they missed a field goal and Chargers
Very
things happened in the
believable.
fourth quarter, I'll probably be like, yeah, you know what, I could see that
Sounds like
happening.
them.
Yeah, exactly. But 27-0 is crazy though. That coach has to be.
Don't
I
worry.
think that's
They
it
got
for
rid of
him.
everything's taken care of, Jay. They got rid of the offensive coordinator. So all their problems are solved.
Really, I didn't even know that.
The
So they're gonna
scapegoat.
keep. They're keeping.
They're keeping that sicko who I've
They're keeping the sicko. Yeah.
Staley, who we talked about before the game. That's one thing. I don't even remember who I ended up picking. I was definitely wrong on half my picks though. But I
Yeah.
know I mentioned how nervous Staley makes me, and he sure does. Also, Herbert, which we've another thing we've talked about this year is, and I had Burrow. We had Burrow in front of him. We had Lamar in front of him when we did our QB list, which we will have to
Feel
revisit
good
maybe
about
after
that.
the playoffs. But yeah, the questions start now for Justin Herbert. And I know I just said he's a
Question.
sicko
Questions
coach.
like what kind of questions? Like, can you win? Can you win a Super Bowl with him? Or
Um,
because I think he's
that
still
question could be asked to a million people.
because he's really young. Like,
He's
I
very
think
young.
yeah, I'm cutting him a lot of slack to be honest for that. For that, like he missed some throws. I know he had that throw at the end
He's
of
throws.
halftime when he missed Keenan
I
Allen.
feel like
I
he's
know it was
rough
sick because
yeah.
would have been 30. It would have been 31-0 if they scored that. But yeah, go ahead. Wait, like,
I
what's the
think I,
what worries you?
and I don't want I definitely don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to football as much as when it comes to basketball. But I feel like he's really good at making the big throws. He's very athletic, but the little stuff, first to third down, I don't always see it.
Yeah.
And I think if you were good at that little stuff, it would have been very hard to come back against a team like that.
Hmm.
But like you said,
Yeah.
I do. Of course, I cut him slack with that whole situation, and that organization is borderline cursed at this point.
Yeah. That's the thing too. Like sometimes you just can't do anything about like laws that the universe have written for you. Like and for the Chargers, it's you have to have a meltdown at one point during the season, or it's playoffs, regular season. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see. If they keep Staley, I mean, you're in hamster wheel mode
You're
at that
accepting
point.
it. You're accepting your fate.
Yeah,
I don't feel
yeah.
bad for the organization at all if they're going to continue to lose in these weird ways because they have the talent. They're always going to be in the mix. But
That's like probably one of the best rosters, like at least top of the list. Yeah, I mean, all right. What else happened during the wild card?
so, all right. So the
The
Jags
Buffalo
looked
Miami
great
game.
there. Doug Peterson,
Yeah, right.
a
Let's give some
lovable coach.
Jacksonville some
They
love.
move on
Yeah,
to Kansas City, and much like the Giants, nothing to be upset about if you're Jacksonville. Is like you ran into the team of today. You were the team of
yeah,
tomorrow. Um, that game was close on the scoreboard, but I never really had any doubt about Kansas City uh falling behind against Jacksonville.
yeah.
That's
No,
that's
I
a
agree.
that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, no, I share the same sentiment. Shout out to Jacksonville. That was a hell of a season. Like even seeing Trevor Lawrence at the end of that game, just in the tunnel, waiting for everyone, dapping up all the guys. Like he's so good, bro. That he is going to be a problem for a while. But yeah, that KC game, I don't know. It was weird because when Mahomes got injured, but I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was over for him when I seen the replay. The
Really,
way the ankle touched, the way his touched the floor. But it's weird because you probably see that often now, where they show you the replay and you think the guy's career is over,
it
and then
looks
they're like
terrible in
kind of
slow
bouncing
motion.
back. Yeah, I think the slow motion these days uh kind of throws us off. But I don't know. Like some people were saying like Mahomes, like, whatever, he didn't have to do much. I still thought that was a pretty strong performance by him. Like when he was clearly injured. I don't know. I haven't been seeing like as much love for him for that game as I would have thought. I think the Mahomes like fatigue is starting for some people, but I don't know. But I thought he was good. And then I don't know what else. Kelsey's a monster. We have to show him
Yeah,
some love.
yeah,
He's
definitely.
he's a monster, bro.
I even tweeted that. I owe him an apology because
Yeah,
he was the other guy and we had Gronk. I always gave him shit. I gave him shit in the Super Bowl, like, oh look, like he's getting all these stats because people are worried about Tyreek Hill and he just goes under and it's like, okay, we'll give you that 10 yards opposed to the
yeah,
50-yard bomb to Hill. But obviously he's shown his worth this season without Hill. He was already getting statistics before he already had good stats before Mahomes was even there. Uh
yeah,
he's a stud. He's a stud
yeah. He
and
is.
this is years and years of this at this point
Yeah,
where he's
I
obviously
agree.
going to be a Hall of Famer and he's a winning player.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it was like because the whole Gronk thing, people comparing him to Gronk when he first started, and then them being on the Chiefs was like low key our rival for like a couple of 3 years till end of Brady's
And he was
Patriots
kind of
run.
a cocky he liked to chat a little.
Yeah, like it was sort of easy to root against him for me, and then like, and he's like, he's not Gronk, so like I'm definitely
He's
gonna
not.
talk shit
And
whenever
by the
whenever
way,
he fucks up. Yeah,
this is my
like
apology to him. He's still not
he's still
Gronk.
not Gronk. Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't
still
do
not
all the
Gronk.
stuff Gronk does.
Yeah, Gronk's different, but like just a combination of all those things like just made it easy for me to root against him, and then whenever he would fuck up, like I'll just Kelsey, there's
He
like
would make those
your
sicko plays though. He
your
would
wide
though.
receiver number one. Like I just talked my shit. He would, but yeah, but like he was such a beast that last game, and for the like you
Definitely.
said, the whole season since Kelsey left, like every time they were in like a third and tough situation, he's just sitting right there, wide open. You don't even know how he's open because like you think everyone's covering him, but I don't know, he just finds a way to get it done, bro. So I definitely I gotta pay my respects to him. He did his thing, and then what? I mean, the Pacheco kid, I like him.
Yeah.
I like
Number 10.
Pacheco. He had that 40-yard run. So I was in and out when the game first started. And this because I didn't really see when Chad Henne first came in. And then I tuned in towards the end of that Pacheco run. I think after that run, they scored the touchdown. But I tuned in and I'm like, oh, whoa, Henne, look, you stole him on the offense, 98-yard drive. And then you texted me and I seen other shit like I think I heard Simmons and South talk about, yeah, like Chad Henne didn't do anything that drive. He handed it off. It was a 40-yard run. They had a penalty and then they scored. And I guess it goes back to my point. It's like the Mahomes hate is getting weird for me, bro. I don't know. Like I feel as if it's really on some like NBA storyline that we always see, like with Giannis the fatigue. Like,
Just
bro,
a
this guy is
narrative.
still incredible.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a
The honest
narrative. But
fatigue, definitely. Definitely.
yeah, like I was that was a really impressive win for me on his end.
Definitely.
Um,
Yeah. He's QB1,
uh,
man. He's QB.
he's
I'm
still
sorry.
QB1.
I love
It,
Burrow. Burrow's my favorite QB to watch.
mm,
Mahomes is QB1. And
he's that guy,
until
bro.
Burrow like unless Burrow just wins and wins and wins for the next like 5 years, I'm not gonna falter from that. Like you have to really do
Yeah,
something. We've made this mistake before. By we, I mean society. So, oh,
Peyton and
Mahomes,
Brady.
Mahomes and Allen 1A 1B.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that too.
obviously not the case, right?
Yeah,
But you saw
yeah,
Allen have a stretch of 10 games or whatever. Obviously, he's played more than 10 good games, but he looked like a freak for like multiple games in a row, and people were just like, all right, great. Like you said, it's Mahomes fatigue. It's like we want the new shiny toy now. And
yeah,
no, this
yeah.
is the guy.
He's
Enjoy
the
him.
guy, bro.
He's a stud.
Yes.
He's really good at football. He doesn't get in trouble with the law. He doesn't say anything controversial. He's a great leader.
Yeah.
Stop fucking hating.
Yeah. Seriously. Nah, I'm man. All right. I'm glad we feel the same way about that, bro. Because it's crazy. Like, bro, this guy is incredible. He's probably gonna win MVP. Like, just accept it. Um, but yeah, it sucks that he got injured though, because I know he's not gonna be 100%. Obviously, what would you give him? 80?
Percentage?
Yeah. Did you see the
80
video
pro.
by the way? After he did the post conference, he walked in like he didn't have a walking boot or nothing. He was like walking fast, and everyone's like,
He
the
was
second the door closed and he got delivered, he was like, oh, he starts crying and grabbing his ankle. He's not trying to show it. But so you give
Yeah,
it 80? Is that what you said?
sure, 80, I guess. Um, this is it too, and he didn't get hurt. Like the play wasn't like, oh, he was running around, he didn't know when to go
Yeah.
down. That wasn't the play, but
Yeah, no, no, no. It wasn't one of those
pocket
situations.
passing's what wins Super Bowls. And
Yeah.
let's see, can he throw in the pocket? Which I know he
Yeah.
can, by the way.
He can do it.
But
But
that other
it's fair.
option
It's a
that
fair
you
question,
normally, that bailout you always have, that I can just
which
go run
makes him
now.
special. That's really what makes him him too.
They can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Aaron Rodgers on steroids.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I still would never count him out.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I don't know. Any last Jaguar thoughts as we send them
No,
off
good.
into
Like
the
I said, good
sunset?
season. Kind of like the Giants, good season. Yeah.
Calvin Ridley coming back next year, Mr. Parlay.
Mhm.
That's another weapon. He's young, yeah. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, he's like, man, they struggle with him. I would feel really good if I'm a Jags fan. Did you see that one throw he had to Christian Kirk? It went viral because
I think so.
Collinsworth said he overthrew him, and everyone's like, Collinsworth's an idiot. What is he talking
Oh,
about?
is that when Christian Kirk,
That he
Kirk
dropped
dropped it?
Christian Kirk. He
He didn't
dropped it.
get it.
Yeah,
He didn't get to it, or he dropped it. Yeah,
yeah.
it was right
It was like
there. It was right in the
early
breadbasket.
in the
Well,
game.
it wasn't right in the breadbasket,
It was,
but it
but
was very fucking close. It was a great throw.
it was a great throw. They showed an aerial view on Twitter of it, and like you could just see like Kirk's not even open, and then Herbert, that other freak, Lawrence, there are a bunch of freaks in the AFC. Lawrence throws it like he literally throws him open, bro. He just throws a dime, and that was special. I think the next step that he has to make, well, I feel the same way about the other guy that lost to Josh Allen, and we'll talk about them. But like you said, and you mentioned this with Herbert too, it's like the short intermediate throws, like the 3rd and 5, you get the money. That's what made Brady like the GOAT,
Yeah,
honestly. That was one of the traits for
yeah.
him that
It's the
really stamped him.
poise. It's
That's what I need to
making
see next for
the
Lawrence.
throws when they need to be
Yeah,
made.
yeah.
I'm happy you brought up Collinsworth because that
Oh yeah.
is the reasoning behind people's hate for Mahomes too. It's like, oh, look at the way they suck him, blah blah blah. It's like
Yeah.
that's not his doing. He's not paying them to suck him dry. Collinsworth was out of control with his hype for Mahomes. Like Mahomes made a terrible pass.
Just
He
getting
just threw a
horny,
ball into
bro.
the dirt and oh, Patrick Mahomes, blah, blah, blah. And then like the next play gave Trevor Lawrence shit for throwing a perfect ball. So that's
Yeah,
bullshit on the
yeah,
commentator's part. There's been a lot of bad commentating
hmm
in the playoffs so far. Uh,
yeah.
and we'll get to that later when we do our segment, but don't let that just focus on the person. It's the same thing last year. Jay, I talked about this with you. He's not his brother and his wife. Like, that's not him either. Like, that's we can't. I'm not gonna hate a guy because his brother is like does TikTok dances.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like that was
yeah,
another
yeah,
reason. Like none of this
yeah,
is him.
yeah. Right. Yeah. No, we fuck with Mahomes on this side. Um, but yeah, the Jaguars, hell of a team. They'll be back.
Do you want to talk about
And
the
yeah,
20 and old Bills?
yes, because we've got to eventually show love to the team the Chiefs will face, but 20-0 Bills can send their ass off first. I mean, who do we even start with that game? They're too small. That's what it feels like. I guess like my trying to be analytical about this game as much as I can. Like you said, we're far from experts, but it feels like Buffalo is just too small.
One of my New
Like
Year's resolutions, by the way, is
getting
to
bullied.
just get smarter at football. I want to get smarter
I
at
like that.
football. I want to become a football, not expert, but like up
The
there. Like I want to
savant.
know my shit, my X's and O's, and I want to be like intermediate at hockey. Like I want to know some
You want to
hockey.
be like all 20, all 22 kind of you breaking down film on the pod
Yeah,
next year. I
yeah.
fuck with it.
I
Yeah.
want to be like, oh, he's like the seventh best edge guy in the league. Like I just want to like have those types of facts off the top
I
of my head.
do. Yeah, I like the past probably 2 years. I think I've been like kind of learning a little bit more about the boys in the trenches, and it's kind of cool to
Yes,
appreciate. That's I'll give Collinsworth his flowers real quick for that because he'll always point
definitely.
that out in the game, and I'm like, oh shit, that's actually interesting. Like how the moves that the diamond use and how like, it's all
Lane
interesting. But
Johnson on Philly,
yeah,
Trent
Lane
Trent
Johnson is like
on
a
San
top
Fran.
5 NFL player, but I would never think he is. But if you're
They
all the
go
experts,
high
like
in
yeah,
the
Lane Johnson's
draft.
probably
Those are
yeah
where the
they
guy.
do.
It's quarterbacks. It's like edge guys, and then it's O
Hmm
lineman. It's never I mean, a receiver will go top 10. Receiver never goes one. A running back rarely
Yeah.
goes in the top five.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Running backs these days, that's you don't want that. with like a top
Barkley was
probably
like the
10
last
pick.
guy to go like really
Yeah, he
high.
might be the last one too. I think the Jets kid went like he didn't go as high as Barkley, but he might have went in the first round.
Both of
Their
them
seat.
very talented. Both of them hurt. Get
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah. It's a short life. But yeah, well, football is I guess it's harder for me to really like view it like and analyze it like how we do with basketball because they're only showing you the football on the camera like when you're watching on TV. So I don't know what's going on. Like if a guy makes a bad throw, he overthrows him. It's like, oh, was that a bad throw or did the wide receiver run a bad route or was it good defense by the safety? Like it's so hard to understand football because what we're like shown on TV as they play the game. But no, I like that resolution though. Learning more about football, I think that's a good challenge. Um, yeah, let's talk about the Bills though. They
First of all, they have a fucking clone
bad.
sitting in the press box. I'm
Mm,
just kidding.
I
I'm
wasn't
just
ready for that one.
just kidding.
I was gonna say maybe 10 minutes in, we bring it up. Maybe 15. You know, like I mean, oh my god, bro. It's so funny that I just laugh when people actually believe these things, bro.
So
Like,
for those of you who don't know, because I think a
yeah,
lot of people don't.
yeah.
Because really,
It's
this is I'm only seeing this shit on Twitter. So if you're not on Twitter, you're
yeah,
not really seeing this. They're not talking
like
about this on
this.
ESPN. They're not talking about this on the
Hell
news.
no, hell no, hell
Uh,
no.
so people think Damar Hamlin actually died in that game. Many people
It's
think he died from the
holy
vaccine.
hell. Yeah,
The COVID
which is which,
vaccine killed him in the
which
middle
is
of a
all
football game.
which is all this is, by the way. It's just the agenda for them to push the vaccine, so they're gonna say some nut shit and
So
go all
they,
conspiracy on us,
what a lot of
which
people
is just
think,
nasty.
what a lot
Yeah,
of people think is that Damar Hamlin died that night. It was a tragedy. He died that night, and he's been replaced with a clone. And when people ask why would they, when people with a brain ask these psychopaths why would they do that? People respond, oh, for his charity. You see how much money his charity's getting?
Pfizer is sponsoring the NFL. You guys don't
Yeah,
know what you're talking about. It's like, all right,
which
bro,
yeah,
you
which is
got it.
it's. And I guess people's reasoning they're like, oh, he won't show his face. It's like this dude just had the most traumatic experience of his life that many of us will never like experience something that traumatic, and maybe he doesn't want to be on the red carpet just
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, that for sure. I mean, he just had his heart stopped, so he's really immunocompromised just out here in this world. So it would make sense to wear a mask in that situation, you would think. And then the point that really defeats it all, and I got like Big Cat made this point earlier. I was telling you when we were talking about it earlier when
Oh,
I was
right,
listening
right,
to
yeah,
their
yeah.
show. But like this is literally what I first thought of when I was getting messages and like people I'm getting retweets on my timeline talking about this dude is a clone. That's not the real Damar Hamlin. Why can't we see your face? Bro, like, you know how hard it is to keep a conspiracy theory like that true with everyone that's involved. Like, all right, they buy all his. This is some sick nut shit that's never gonna happen. But okay, they keep his mom and like say like the immediate family, his mom, his brother. They like pay them $1 billion. I'm already talking crazy to try to like
Right, yeah. You have to
to
say
create
like
this
five
world.
crazy
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to like sort of paint this world for y'all. So I'm gonna sound insane, but yeah, they pay $1 billion to the son and the mom. Okay. Oh, so okay, maybe they have a cousin that's like, whoa, why are you guys like all of a sudden billionaires? What's that about? Oh, okay, hold on. We got to keep the cousin quiet. Here's another billion, maybe. I don't know. You guys, we're gonna guarantee you property on Mars when we all move there in 50 years. Like, oh, okay, then now the friend heard about it because the cousin's best friend has to tweet about it or something. Like, bro, you know how impossible it is to try to keep something like that wrapped up, and that like alone for me is like why these things sound so insane. Like upon all the other stuff we talked about, but yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. But I mean, it's good to see that he's alive
Yeah,
and well and tweeting and everything. So that's good to see. But as far as the Bills,
we
probably
need
could
a
have used
selfie.
them. One, probably could have used them out there.
Yeah,
Uh, but also they put up 10 points.
was that the final score? I
I believe it was
forgot.
27-10. I'm pretty sure it was 27-10.
I know. Yeah, they didn't touch 20.
And it
Wow. Was
was
it? You're probably right.
in your own house, the Bengals just
Snowing.
controlled the entire game. Yeah,
You think
in the
snow?
elements that you're the one who are I mean, it's not like Cincinnati's
Yeah, right. Yeah,
California, but
yeah.
this is supposed to be your house. These are the elements you're supposed to be comfortable in. You're supposed to
They
have the
only
advantage,
scored.
and they just got owned.
They only scored
Cincinnati
10.
took the
You're
ball
right.
first, came out, scored immediately, came down, scored again. They're gonna have another touchdown to Chase that should have been a catch that wasn't called a catch.
Yeah.
Burrow and Chase are incredible. This might be
Best 1-2 in the game,
this
in
is the
my
best one two
opinion.
in the game, and they might be together for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Uh Burrow is phenomenal. He does all the right things. He didn't get sick that game.
Hmm.
And Allen was Allen was weird. And I don't know what to say. I mean, the defense before the season started, I didn't see them going far because of their defense. I don't know what they really did to address their defensive issues.
Yeah.
I personally, a lot of people, I think you're casuals say, I mean, that's rude. But the people who say, "Oh, that Chiefs Bills game was the greatest game of all time last year," it's like it was a fucking college Pac-10 midnight game where everybody was open by a million yards. There was no defense, and
Yeah.
the Bills lost that game because they let Mahomes score. They were up with 13 seconds left, and they let the Chiefs drive down, tie the game, and then they let the Chiefs beat them in overtime. And
Feels like a cursed franchise too. Yeah, they're giving
sort of, but
Chargers,
it's like
but just on a higher. They're like a more successfully cursed franchise
I
because they
guess,
got the whole
but
history with the three Super Bowls or with four. I
it
don't, I
wasn't
don't even
even
remember how much it
fluky
was.
though. Not that the
Yeah, it's
Chargers loss
weird.
was fluky, but it was like you just Jay, all year you and
The
I
other team
thought
was
they were kind of
better.
weird. We
Yeah,
thought like,
I'm with you.
okay, what did they do to get this hype? Like, oh, that they're the Super Bowl favorites. They lost to the
Because
team that lost to the
yeah,
team that lost to the team in the Super Bowl last year. Like
that's
they
what it
weren't
is, bro.
close. They weren't
That's what
close.
it is.
I don't even
That's
think they
really
would
what
beat
it is.
Cincinnati if they got by Kansas City last year. And they definitely weren't going to beat Cincinnati this year. Allen just does, he's extremely talented. He's still obviously a top three
Yeah,
QB, I'd say, but he's not cool, calm, and collective. And you got to be that
yeah,
to win in the playoffs. And yeah, the defense, you can just throw all over them. I knew they were in trouble when not just Miami made a game out of it the week before, but the week before that, the Patriots were hanging with the Bills. And the only reason the Patriots
yeah.
weren't very close to winning that game or won that game is because of like the weird freaking special team shit that happened. So, and that's not me hyping up the Pats. That's me saying, look at these lowly teams that can hang with the Bills. What did you expect?
What does this mean? Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you, man. That defense was so like there was so much times where Cincinnati was just getting easy conversions. Like there wasn't like sometimes I wasn't even seeing like guys in on the screen. Like it's like their safeties were all like dropping back, just letting Cincinnati pick them apart. But yeah, and Allen, bro, it feels like he's either going for a kill shot. This was the thing with Trevor Lawrence that I was talking about earlier, and we talked about it with Herbert. Like he's either going for kill shots, like he's either trying to do some spectacular shit, and if that doesn't work out, then it's like, okay, stick with Josh Allen has entered the chat. Because again, man, it feel like a lot of easy misses that he had 3rd and 5. He's like throwing it at dudes' feet, or I don't know, there's something weird. Like it always happened when they, he could have pulled through for them. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. But Cincinnati was just a better team, also, and
They're
I think
just a
that's
better team.
why.
All three phases of the game, they're a better
Yeah,
team.
they're just top to bottom, better team. And I think last year, like when Buffalo played KC in that wild game that you were talking about in the playoffs, to a lot of people, and I'll include myself in this, like I kind of felt, a victim to like this thinking that like, okay, that was the AFC Championship game. And then the
Right.
next game, Cincinnati's in. It's like, oh, Cincinnati, cute little story. Mahomes, was he concussed second half? And Cincinnati's in the Super Bowl, and then the Rams beat them. I mean, imagine if Cincinnati had won the Super Bowl, which they
Which
could
they
have won.
very
Like,
well
even,
could
I
have if
even forget
Eli
about
Apple
that.
wasn't a scrub.
Yeah, like this Cincinnati one, I think last year was not fluky. It felt fluky in the moment for me, but it wasn't. Can say that comfortably now looking back.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think that sort of aspect kind of gassed the Bills up the whole 20 and 0 thing this year. It's like, oh, those guys, you saw how close they were to beating the Chiefs. And then
Uh-huh.
we just all disregard the team that was actually in the Super Bowl because
And we disregard the
maybe it
Chiefs because
didn't
they
play
got rid
out.
of Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, right, that too. And it just didn't probably play out the way some people wanted it to play out. But they're real, bro. And Burrow is a guy like
Yep.
he out of everyone that's come since, he reminds me the most of Tom Brady.
Of Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah, he reminds me the most of him, and we're never gonna go that far and say he is Tom Brady. But like
Right.
if I'm a Bengals fan, I'm sure they probably feel as comfortable in some moments when he's driving them down the field, like as we felt as young buckos watching Brady in that Patriots
Yeah.
jersey driving down. Like I'm sure like he gives you that, like he's that guy, bro. The way he carries himself,
Yeah.
very confident,
Just
like
yeah,
very confident
never
guy, and
nervous.
you have confidence.
It's
Yeah,
never the shakes. That's never why there's a mistake made.
never.
He's fantastic. He's my favorite quarterback to watch right now.
He's the real
Um,
deal.
the reason I don't have him QB1 in the case against him, which there
Yeah.
isn't much of a case to be made, but they are loaded with weapons. And
Yeah.
also, he is the ultimate security blanket, the ultimate pacifier with Jamar Chase, where it's like
Hmm.
this guy might be he might be a wide receiver number one. Not only that, but
Yeah.
he he was already connected with him because of LSU.
Yeah.
So you
And
take
then you
all that
got
into account
Higgins is probably a wide receiver one on some teams.
on many other teams. Yeah.
Hayden Hurst, the tight end, like I feel like
Yeah.
he's always
Joe
making plays for them.
Mixon
Like they're
handed off to Joe
stacked. Yeah.
Mixon. Yeah.
Yep. It's a good team.
But yeah,
So it's a yeah.
they're we'll do picks in a second, but
Yeah.
I mean San Francisco, let's talk about them real quick. I'm trying to think, is there anybody we didn't talk about yet? We're not going to talk about Miami. There's nothing to talk about there.
Yeah.
Uh I guess that's it. We talked about the Giants, talked about the Vikings.
The Bucks.
Well, we're gonna get
Yeah.
to the Bucks. We'll talk about the
You wanna
Cowboys
round
first.
spin the block a little? Okay.
Yeah, so the Cowboys I think are sort of in purgatory because of
Yeah.
their they have their coach and QB are both sort of issues and they're both sort of similar where he's not by any means the worst coach, Mike McCarthy.
Mm-mm.
I think he's good enough to
No,
get you a winning record, but he's not good enough to win you a Super Bowl. I feel the same way about Dak. He is
it's
the
crazy.
definite they're both sort of the definition of mediocre or slightly above it. And I think the defense is legit. I think the defense is legit,
Yeah,
but
seems
and
that
I
way.
think they have some weapons. I think they have a nice 1-2 punch. Zeke showed some promise in that game. Like he's not completely done, but he's definitely at the end of his rope.
Yeah,
Like you said earlier, like they have a short
it might look worse.
it's a
It
short
might look
life.
worse next year. Like I feel
Could
like it's
definitely look worse.
going down for Zeke. Yeah, but they have
But
Pollard, so
they have Pollard. They're bringing back Dan Quinn as DC. I think he did a good job. Some guys are just good coordinators and not
mm,
I mean, we talked about that earlier, Jay,
yeah,
with Nathaniel Hackett. Uh one of the worst coaching jobs
right.
we've ever seen with
Forgot
Denver.
where he
Just
went.
got coached, just got
Yeah,
hired by the Jets as an offensive coordinator. We'll see how that goes. But
the Jets. Okay.
what do you think about
Yeah,
this Cowboys team before we get to the Bucks?
yeah. No, I agree. That you said that perfectly. They're like, Dak's not the worst at what he does. McCarthy's not the worst at what he does, but like they're just gonna have you sort of in the middle of the pack, first round exit, maybe second round if you're lucky. And although they're not the worst at their respective like positions and jobs, that's the worst situation to be in if you're a team. Like when you're just stuck in that purgatory limbo state. So yeah, feels like there's not really that much many outs with them, unless Jerry just goes
This
ape shit in the
yeah, and
offseason and blows it up. But that doesn't feel like it's gonna happen.
I really think you have to draft a quarterback.
They won't though. They just gave him a
They
bag.
won't.
Yeah, like bro, they're stuck. They're stuck in
He's
hell.
not
And
him. He's not him.
yeah, he's not. Don't really feel bad either. But yeah, that's the Cowboys. That poor kicker. That's
Hey, he
tough.
turned it around though. And
He did. Yeah.
maybe he can stick around in the league now. I guess he was good all season. And he had a disgusting game against the Bucks. He would have missed that kick to start the game
The
against
one that got blocked.
that got
Yeah.
blocked.
It
And
was showing that
that would have
angle
been
was
the
like
end.
way left.
That block,
Yeah.
whoever blocked that saved this guy's career possibly because he came back
Dude,
and he hit 2 field goals, maybe an
his
extra point. I
face
can't quite
though,
remember.
his face when it got blocked is really like as if he's seen a ghost.
Yeah,
Like that must just
I
feel
was
so
missing that.
horrible in that moment. Like imagine you just had a nightmare and it's a whole new day, like you're granted this whole new opportunity, and then you're back in the nightmare. That's what happened to him in that moment. Like I can just see that in his face. But yeah, you're right.
He
He
was
turned it around.
reliable. He turned
He'll
into
have a
reliable
job.
midway through the game, and he was
Yeah.
putting up points. He was scoring more points than fucking Dak
Yeah, I was gonna
Prescott was
say probably
scoring.
the best offensive player for them. Like
Yeah,
maybe him and Stevie, because
yeah.
Pollard got hurt. Yeah, I
It
mean
shouldn't
the
help them
Cowboys
either.
are sick. Yeah. On the Niners side of things, I mean, that's a juggernaut. Like that's
Yeah, what do you do, right?
I'm
So
waiting for the Purdy
McCaffrey,
thing. Yeah, like, but I don't know. Like Purdy can.
is it for real?
I don't know,
Is
bro.
it just for
It's.
real?
I don't. I really don't know. As I'm saying, like it might just be for real. But even if he isn't like great against the Eagles, like they could still win that game because they're just that talented. And then I don't know, man. It's weird, but yeah, they're stacked. I mean, you said McCaffrey, Debo, guys who literally play different positions too. Like Debo will do what McCaffrey does, and McCaffrey will literally do what Debo does. And then they'll switch, and then Kittle that nut
And then
had that
Ayuk.
crazy catch. Ayuk, right? Ayuk, bro. Even the light skinned dude, Jennings. He's like making.
Yeah.
He'll be a 3rd and 10, and you like
He'll
there's
be the best player
Jennings
on the
for a
Patriots.
12-yard gain. Yeah, like bro, what the fuck? And then on defense, they have Bosa. Bosa's a maniac. I know you remember what's his name was doing in that game, Fred Warner, where he was covering. Remember that play where he covered CD
Well,
on like
yeah,
a deep
that's
pass?
Russillo talked about that, and Dak.
Did
He
he?
was like, Dak thinks, oh, it's just a linebacker, like it's all right, I can throw it.
Mm,
He's not gonna be able to keep out. But no, it's Fred Warner. It's different. It's the guy.
that's
He's the best at his
insane, bro.
position
He did
right
it
now.
twice. He did it to Schultz, where it's like, okay, that's a tight end. You could kind of understand that, but when you see him out running with CD Lamb, that's insane, bro. And then they got Troy Polamalu's son, who'll be doing his thing. I think they were all pros too. Like they had the most all pros. But yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't. Going into this NFC Championship game, I really don't know who I'm picking. I know we have to make the decision,
So let's
but
let's
and say
talk
our
about the
picks, but
Bucks, and then we're gonna make
I
our
don't know.
decisions on both championship games.
Okay, farewell to Tampa. I mean,
Farewell to Tampa, probably for good,
yeah.
right? We doubt Tom comes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real
Well,
quick, I enjoyed my time with the
yeah.
Buccaneers. I really did. It
I don't
was
know. I wonder what the odds are on that.
a a championship.
Yeah, yeah.
How many people can say that as a championship, right?
You literally could stop it right there. A championship, period.
Coming very close, another historic comeback,
Yeah.
skin of their teeth, almost taking out last year's champs. And then this year,
Which I wish it ended like that.
wish it ended like that,
Yeah.
but it's so funny that rock bottom for Tom Brady and this team is still they made the playoffs.
The
They still
divisional.
made the play.
Yeah.
And that's rock
Wild
bottom.
card. Yeah.
That's still rock bottom. But it was ugly. Brady sucked that game.
Yeah.
And worst coaching job I've ever rooted for. Like worst obviously we're Patriots fans, so we're not used to like really bad coaching, but it's the worst coach
Yeah.
team I've ever had to root for in maybe any sport. And
Mm.
yeah, that it was ugly and a bad team, the worst team in the playoffs, probably. Maybe even worse than Miami.
Forced to Minnesota.
Yeah, Jay, I think so. They can't move the ball. They couldn't move the ball and they
Yeah,
can't
Dak
run
is
the
so
ball.
bad.
That's why like Brady
Yeah.
Magic, blah blah blah. I never count them out. But going into that game, people were asking me, and I was not my usual confident self. I was like, I don't know, man. They can't run the ball. You got to run the
I
ball in the
remember
playoffs, and the
we
defense
texted
wasn't
each
as
other.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember we texted each other that morning and we were both like, we don't really feel good about this. Like
No,
9 hours
no, and we
from
should have.
kickoff.
Like normally we would. It's the Cowboys. It's Brady. It's like that doesn't. But it was
Yeah.
so rough this year. And again, Brady was not great. Brady was not great in that game. He wasn't even good. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, they hats off to a good. This was not Jordan on the fucking Wizards. Like people are getting out of control. It was
You said
this.
Bill said that?
I think Simmons said that. Yeah, no, this was what Russillo calls it. Like the ultimate revenge story in sports.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was all Bill. Go win a title. So
That
I enjoyed. We got a couple Brady comebacks this year in the regular season. That New Orleans on Monday night. That was
there
a
were
good
some
memory for
moments.
me.
The Rams
Um,
game.
yeah, there were some good
There
moments,
were some
but as I
there's some
tweeted,
highlights.
even in those comeback games, throw all the minutes together. What is it?
Yeah.
1,080 minutes in the NFL in their NFL season. I think that's what I calculated to. There's probably like 5 minutes of
Okay.
actual fun football. Everything else was fucking misery, and I'm happy it's over.
Yeah, no, I agree. Um, yeah. So where do you see Tommy Boy next year?
Let me ask you a question first. Do you want him to come back?
Okay. Mm, no, no.
I
Well,
think I'm good, man. I
ah,
think I'm good, Tom. I think I'm good. I'm gonna root for him
with
if he comes back,
good
unless he
like
goes to the fucking Jets. I will not root for him if he goes to the Jets, but now
you're
it's
good
like, come
like
on,
you're
bro.
good on him on Tampa. Good, like that's what you mean. Like you're
No,
good
I'd
on
still
him
root for him if he came
returning.
back to Tampa.
Yeah. Do I want him on Tampa? I mean, if the coaching staff, because they let go of Leftwich,
They
they
did.
released him, right?
They did. Bulls is still
But
intact though.
Bowles is still there. Just to bring Arians back, though. Bring Arians back. Have
Big
Bowles
win for
round the
Bruce this season.
defense.
This season was a win for
Yeah,
Bruce.
it was. It was. And I
No
talked
risk
my
it, no
fair share of
biscuit.
shit of about Bruce. I've had some moments where I was just calling him an idiot, but yeah, nah, you're right. I missed him a lot this year. I mean, damn, because if the whole thing is if Purdy, which by the way, I think Purdy's the quarterback next year, so I don't. It's going to be tough to see
For San
Tom
Fran, I don't
in
want,
San
yeah, I
Fran.
don't, that'd be weird. That's not
You
something you
wouldn't
root
want.
for. It's like you
You
have this
wouldn't want
nice
it.
young potential with this QB, and now
Yeah,
you're just taking a fucking 46-year-old. No, don't. That's not something you should root for, you know?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I just don't. I don't even think they're gonna do that. Especially you need to take them to the NFC title game. That's a lot.
I wouldn't mind him coming
Vegas
home.
probably.
I wouldn't mind him coming home to the
Ooh,
Pats.
that would be my after Vegas. That I mean,
No, Patriots would be my favorite.
would you want that for him though? Like, I know it'd be cool, like to see. I guess, like, yeah, if he's on the
I
Pats, that
don't
is a great story. But
hope
are they
fucking
not going to be sickos with
Vegas will
those
be sick
weapons?
too.
You got Devontae though. I think Devontae could
Yeah,
be a movie. Waller,
I know. But
that could be a
still,
movie.
but
The
still,
Pats,
dude.
okay, the
McDaniel
Pats would make
sucks
me.
as McDaniel sucks as a head coach. I don't care if it's him and Tom.
The Pats make me feel good. Like that would be the best feel good story. I'd be really happy if that happened. But for him to like really compete, like obviously Niners is the move if it's there. But if not,
Miami.
probably Vegas, bro. Miami. Miami's so weird too. They have to bring back Tua though. Like
Not if he
I can't see.
retires.
Oh yeah, guess that's possible. I mean, like 6, 7 concussions this season.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. I feel
Yeah,
bad for him. But
my
also, let's not forget that
Miami would be lit.
Tua was weird. When you actually watch the
Tua
games
was
this year,
weird, but
Tua was a weird guy to watch, especially late in the
I'm a
season.
little mad though. I'm a little mad because he was weird, but then he just wasn't weird enough where they probably are going
And then
to
he got
go
hurt.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
I
he
don't
got
know.
hurt. Like he's they're gonna scratch like the
Yeah,
Miami
that's
folks is just
fucking
they're
typical
scratching this for
Tua.
him. Yeah, right. He's gonna linger for like 4 years, and we're not gonna know if
Yeah.
he's good or not. And then he's gonna be in a Baker Mayfield situation where he's winning Thursday night games.
I actually heard
We're all
that
happy for him.
concussion he had versus the Bengals on Thursday night. He
Yeah.
actually died in the locker room, and it's been a clone ever since.
I wouldn't put it past Big Bad NFL. But yeah, bro. I don't know. I say Vegas is the move. I think I'm leaning Vegas.
Damn, really?
Vegas, but I would love if he came back to New England. Oh, you think that's like actually likely though? Like
All
him to
right,
go
if he
to the
goes to
Pats?
Vegas, here's what we're doing in the summer, Jay.
We have to go to a Vegas game.
We go, all
Oh
right,
my god, because I've
maybe.
been dying to go to Vegas too.
Well,
So
I was gonna
nah, now I'm
say
rooting for it. But go
maybe
ahead.
this,
Yeah, what's
maybe if this, I don't even know if this lines up right. NBA Summer League and then a Raiders OTA with Brady.
uh, oh my god, that would be a movie, bro. That would be actually like one of the greatest trips ever. I'm not even capping.
Yeah,
We'll
but
we'll
that's
we'll
we'll
work
see.
we'll work the dates out. Yeah, I hope it could align. I mean, OTAs because preseason when does it start? August, right? So
I
there has
think
to be
the
some
OTAs
OTAs in
are
July.
like early August.
Because I
Yeah,
think summer league is late July.
yeah, I
I don't
was
know if it
thinking
goes
that
into
too.
August. It's like I feel like I always see like July 4th, and I could be very much wrong, but I feel as if I'm always seeing on ESPN in the summer and like a hot July day. It's like July 14th to 27th. It's like some high 20 number. I'm like,
Trey
oh,
Young
okay.
had 10, 15, and 4 in his summer league debut. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know, bro.
See
Not Vegas would
Wemby?
be
See
really tough.
Wemby?
Wemby, ooh, I hope he comes to Houston.
Yeah, you'll be
That's
seeing a
very,
lot of him.
it's very much in the cards, but who knows? Houston might even find a way to blow that. Now we're doing NBA. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. So all right, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
Brady, Vegas, and then New England is what my heart wants. But like for him to win, and like I'm like, yo, I think we can compete. Let's go to war one last time, Tommy. I think I want Vegas.
Please, one last time, Tommy. Like I don't want
Oh,
if you're
he's
gonna
gonna
be
come
out
back.
there,
He's gonna
be
come
out there,
back.
man. This like getting rid of the ball so you don't get hit. Like
Yeah,
I wanna
yeah,
yeah.
not
We'll
for
see.
sure.
Again, rough season, but look at the big picture. I think you and I are good at looking at the big picture. And the big picture
Hmm.
is he left New England. They missed the playoffs twice. First round exit, worst playoff loss ever versus Buffalo. He went to Tampa. They went to the playoffs three times in a row. Super Bowl, divisional, almost conference championship game appearance, and then lost in the wild card. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's his legacy in Tampa as of right now. And I wouldn't mind if he retired too. I don't think it's the worst way to go out. Like I texted you, fucking I found out Dan Marino's last game was like a 65-7 loss.
I remember you. Yeah, that was wild. That blew
That
my
was
mind
just blew my
actually.
mind too. It was like that's in
Yeah,
I just heard about that now, and people are like,
that's like some college shit
Brady's
in
hurting his
like
legacy."
August.
Like, stop it. Right.
Yeah.
No, that's some college shit in the national championship game. That was I don't know if we've spoken since Brady.
Uh,
That was a joke. All right. Anyways, we can move on. Oh yeah. Uh
yeah.
Super Bowl
Well,
picks. Who do you
yeah.
think's
I guess.
gonna win both of these games?
Okay, so Niners and Philly. We know that. I mean, both of these games are going to be wars, bro. I mean, because I actually wrote it down. I'm gonna act like I'm thinking about it, but I haven't written it down. You want me to do NFC first or AFC?
Give me NFC.
NFC first. I had it Eagles 30, Niners 27. I think Philly's going to the big dance.
I agree. I like that score. I do think Philadelphia pulls it out. We're hurts,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. I think it's going to be a Hurts game, to be honest. Like that's
Yeah.
going to be a game where he's like, "Yo, I'm that guy." Like it's a little more than just a team.
Yeah, I would say right around there with the scoring too.
Okay, so we're punching Philly into the Super Bowl. AFC. What did I have? I know I yeah. I mean, I had Cincy 27, KC 21. I think since he's going back to the Super Bowl, bro. It's real.
Isn't that weird?
Ooh, are you
That's a
going
weird
K?
Super
Okay,
Bowl.
no, you're Cincy.
So I picked, you go back and listen to our wild card
I don't.
podcast. I picked Kansas City. I
Yeah,
think I picked Kansas City beating Philly in the Super Bowl. I don't even know if we picked winners.
I had Kansas City twice. Preseason, I had
Yeah,
KC, and then last or 2 weeks ago when we were with Gene, I think we both still had KC.
right.
But
But I think Cincinnati's better. I just think they're a
they
better
moved
football
me,
team.
bro.
I think
They
they're just a
moved
better
me.
football team. So I
Yeah.
would say right around there as well. I would even go as far as to say, let's say,
Can you
just to
score?
be different than you, 28 to 19.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, again, we would not be surprised if Mahomes just put together a masterclass that we'll tell our
No, we
grandkids
wouldn't.
about.
Yeah.
He could very well capable of that. And like part of me is kind of rooting for that. I don't care who wins. Like if Cincinnati makes
I'm
it.
rooting
I
for a
told you
good
this.
game.
Yeah.
I need a playoff classic because we have not gotten one
Yes.
yet. We have not gotten a good
Yeah.
playoff game
The
all.
only one was Jacksonville and
So yeah,
San
right,
Diego.
sort of.
Look at
Yeah.
San Diego, a team that used to be in San Diego. That tells you half of it. And then Tony Dungy's corpse was announcing it. Like that was our
Oh,
classic.
we'll get to him in a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, we will. Um, yeah, I'm rooting for a classic like you, bro. Part of me would not mind to see Mahomes like get back there, and then even if he wins the Super Bowl, because like, wow, we're witnessing greatness. That's pretty cool. And then on the same end, with Burrow does it, it's like, bro, this guy just went to back Super Bowls. And like I told you this, like we're in for a good matchup. Whoever comes out of each side, I think
Right.
Cincinnati, Philly would be a really good Super Bowl. San Francisco Chiefs, like we're bound to have a good
All
game.
well
Hopefully,
balanced football teams are left. The four best
yeah.
football teams are left,
Yes, exactly. It played out how it should have.
which is
It
rare.
played out exactly how it should have. Yeah, it is rare. But yeah, I don't know, Cincinnati, something about that team. They just they're literally just like a mirror image of Joe Burrow and the way he carries himself. And it's hard to bet against that guy.
But like I said, Eli Apple, uh, I take just bad
The
juju.
ultimate.
He's really killing their like the aura around them
He's a
just with the stuff he's
he's
tweeting and
he's the Pat Bev of the NFL, I think, because he's
yeah,
not
someone
good,
said
but he
that.
talks
That's
like,
yeah.
yeah, okay, so yeah, people see it. Yeah, I mean, this like because he's not, bro, he's not even nice. All the guys who
No,
know
he gets
football, they
cooked.
like he's getting burned. Like you mentioned, yeah, he got cooked in that Rams game in the Super Bowl last year. But he'll talk like he's that guy. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I just want a good game. I want a good game on both sides.
Yeah, I want close games. That's what I'm rooting for this week. I'm not too bent out of shape if
Yeah,
either side wins either game. I would like to see Cincy win just
same.
because I've been riding with them for a while now, and I like their jerseys. That picture I sent you of Jamar Chase, dude looks like a
Mm,
fucking Power Ranger.
that shit is hard. Yeah.
Yeah, with the visor, that was dope.
See the
He's a
reflection
beast
and
too.
shit, the tattoos, everything. Yeah,
He's a beast.
he is.
Um, so we had some other stuff on the
Wide
agenda,
receiver
Jay, but I
one,
think we might possibly. Who's the other? Tyreek Hill, maybe.
yeah.
It's those two.
Jefferson, maybe.
Jefferson's been shut
Jefferson?
down. Like I
No,
never
but
saw
they were
Chase
they
get
were
shut down like him.
they were. I don't know how. Again, I don't know how much it was happening because we only see what we see. But I would see like pictures of him getting triple teamed by the Giants. Like it was bad. Like he was just getting. I was like, I've
Yeah,
seen that too. People like he's getting shut down. Then I'll see replies from like a Vikings diehard that's heartbroken. But they'll pull out their screenshots and you got to respect them. Like okay, he is
a
getting
couple weeks
triple teamed.
before
Yeah.
that though, he got shut down by that dude on Green Bay.
Green
Remember
Bay,
the guy who wore the
Jair
big ass hat?
Alexander.
Yeah,
Yeah, he started grittying after like the first play. He had the big hat and after in the
one
post game
catch.
interview, he was giving like the most serious interview with that big ass hat on, and it's like, dude, I'm not taking you serious right now. Are you kidding me? Yeah, he probably is wide receiver one though. Can't call you crazy for that.
Yeah.
But what would you like to move on to? I guess that wraps up our Super Bowl predictions.
So a quick thing. I want to do a quick little update. We're gonna talk about the Bruins real quick. And
Oh
I think
yeah,
soon after football season we'll have co-host of the podcast Suicida. Also co-host is
Big
Gene, who
Dave.
will come on soon for football. But yeah,
Yeah,
big Dave Uso. He's obviously he made his first appearance on this podcast talking about hockey. We'll have him
yeah.
back to talking about hockey again. And I texted him yesterday because I've watched more Bruins this year than I ever have in my
Yeah,
life.
I'm getting like texts from you like on a Wednesday night. It's like the Bruins just put on a show to remember. I feel bad for missing it because it sounds like it's a movie this season. But yeah,
Yeah.
what's going on? Give us.
So it's interesting, right? It's we were talking yesterday. So they had Bruce Cassidy as their coach, who was pretty good, got them to a Stanley Cup, got them to the playoffs multiple times. Everybody liked him,
Okay,
likable guy.
here's what'll help me follow along too. What Bruce Cassidy is what NBA coach?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna get there actually. I made the
Okay,
comparison to Brad Stevens, where I don't know if
okay,
that's the right comparison in terms of their coaching styles, but he was a good coach.
he's a good
They,
coach. Yeah,
they were
I
winning,
like
they were
that.
making the playoffs, but he wasn't the right fit. And now he's the coach.
Mm.
He actually coaches our Las Vegas Knights.
Oh, our Knights.
Uh, but they bring in this new coach
Good
who I
Knights.
guess lost his last job because he was alcoholic. Um, but
Oh, okay.
the dude just unlocked something with the Bruins, and now the Bruins have become like the '96 Bulls. They actually lost tonight
Wow.
3-2 to a really good Tampa Bay Lightning team, but they almost it's 99% of the time when I look up at the gym or watching at home, turning them on, they're winning,
Yeah.
they're controlling the puck, they have the puck in the other team's zone. And my Dave actually sent me some stats that I just want to read off.
Mm.
Um,
Hockey analytics.
yeah, he said they're first in goals and goals allowed. So like they're stopping people, they're putting up points.
Wow.
I looked yesterday, they
So
had
like
like
best differential, I
right.
guess.
They had 80 points. The next best team had like 64, which is just crazy. They're
Wow.
so far ahead of everybody else. Um, and yeah, I was like, how did I asked them? I was like, what's this big change? All of a sudden they're
Mm.
they're world beaters. And what is the big change? He said the
And
coach.
is it like the same roster too from the years
It's very
before?
similar, I think. I mean, I'm not
Okay.
too locked into the Bruins offseason, but I think it's pretty similar. All the same names I'm hearing: Bergeron, Pasternak, Marchand, uh, DeBrusque. Like I'm hearing all the same names I always hear. But yeah,
Mhm.
he's the coach. They needed a change. The players didn't like play. I guess the players didn't like playing for the old coach. They love playing for the new coach. Um, and their goalie's a beast. Their goalie's such a beast that their backup goalie, Dave told me, would be a starter on 75% of the teams in the NHL.
Good
Uh,
goalie room.
yeah, it's a good goalie room, right? Yeah, like the like the Bengals wide receiver room.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just props to the Bruins. Even though they lost
Hell
tonight,
yeah.
I'll give them heavy props, and we'll have Dave on soon to talk more about them. They've been a blast to watch. They've been a blast to watch.
I
And
love
then
it.
we had other stuff. We had Bill O'Brien. Patriots just signed Bill O'Brien. He's back.
Yeah.
Slight improvement, definitely, because
When
it's the
was
actual offensive coordinator opposed to Matt Patricia, but we'll see.
when was the first thing? What year range was that? I remember it was when Brady had the long hair because he bitched on him on the sideline. When I think of Bill O'Brien, I just think of that viral clip.
So
But
they
was he
want,
like what
yeah.
the
He's
second
like,
Giants Super Bowl? Was he there
yeah,
for
he's
that?
like a little bit before the second Giants Super Bowl into the Giants next second Giants Super Bowl, and then I think he's the head coach after that.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, that sounds right.
and yeah, so they never won anything with him. But of course, Brady
Mm.
had some of his best offensive seasons with Bill O'Brien. We'll see though. We'll see. I do think it's a step in the right direction. He
It's
was a
definitely an
we
upgrade too from that
yeah,
maniac Patricia.
who hasn't been fired from the organization yet. So I'm worried about that.
That's
Uh
scary. Yeah.
I think Bill doesn't like to fire coaches, one. When was the last time you heard, oh, Patriots
Mm.
fired a coach? Like that just doesn't happen.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Bill doesn't fire guys, and I think lack of a better term, I wouldn't say it's exactly like this, but he likes to have yes men around. Like you have to be one of his guys. He's not going to bring in some
Yeah.
random hotshot guy from college. He's not going to bring in Kingsbury or whoever, like some offensive known coach. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, we might not see Cliff again. He's on a one-way trip to Thailand. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Where it's like, I'm not going to return until everything is. I might not see that guy again. But
I don't like him either,
yeah,
so it's okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Bill O'Brien. I guess that's interesting.
right. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. We can save NFL awards for our next episode.
Okay, yeah, because yeah, I don't think it really that dialogue really starts until the week before the Super Bowl. Because doesn't they do the NFL honors? Is it the night before the Super Bowl?
I
Isn't it
think
like that
so.
Saturday?
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah,
I guess we could save that then.
we'll save it for that.
Um, well,
And
that's
then,
all I have for NFL.
yeah, I have. So, Jay, I think you texted me yesterday. And I was like, not you too, Jay. Is it
What did
really
I text
poor
you?
Braun? Is it really poor LeBron?
Braun.
Some LeBron talk, who
Well,
I
it's
praise on this podcast at nauseum,
yeah.
who's been amazing this season.
Yo, he's been balling this season. Like he's been balling. It's I get what you're saying. It's not poor Braun for the fact that this is his fault. Like he's created this situation. He's the reason why he's going to war with Troy Brown and fucking Thomas Bryant and Max Christie. He's going to war with just like guys we just pull up to it at Peters. So yeah, it's not poor Braun in that aspect, but it is poor Braun when he just dropped like 49-8, which he's just doing every other night now. And then you see him plop down on the seat, just full of sweat, looks defeated, and you see the score in the bottom. It's like Lakers 98, Portland 107 or something with 2 minutes left, and Westbrook smiling and he's happy. And he's saying shit post game like, oh, it's not about wins and losses. He said something crazy, bro. Like it's not about wins and losses, it's about being happy. And then from that same post game was just about to yak his stomach out. So yeah, that's where it's like, man, it does suck to see that. Just the visual of seeing Braun go so hard because he's still got it. He's still that guy for me. He's one of the very few guys I think that can still like
He's a lot of fun
go
to watch.
crazy. Yeah, he's been going crazy since AD went out, but yeah, he created the situation. So you're right. It's not really poor Braun, but this this is
It's
this is tough to
you
watch.
had your
Even
fun.
even
You had your
even I'll say
title.
that.
They got the title. and they
The
traded away their future.
Mickey.
They like go down the list of people who were traded away. Ingram,
Yeah, it's a
Lonzo Ball,
championship team.
Kuzma, who's become a legitimate NBA
Kuzma is a
player.
guy. Yeah, Caruso,
Caruso, after the fact, they traded away good guys, core guys that helped them
KCP.
win that title. Caruso and KCP. Schroeder, who's
Yeah,
now back. Um,
he circled back. Yeah,
and they did it for Westbrook, who was a proven not winning player. And now they're not winning games. Can you believe that?
yeah.
Uh so yeah, it's not poor Braun. He did the same thing in Cleveland.
Funny how that works.
He wipes he sucks out all of a team's resources, and then you remember the last year in Cleveland, he wanted them to trade a pick. He wanted them to trade their draft pick, who probably turned into
Yeah,
like fucking somebody good. But he wanted to trade that pick away for to get more help for that 2018 run when they had no chance.
yeah.
And they had
Right.
no chance because they had a bunch of old guys that he wanted that were bad contracts.
Did
So
the
this
same
is what
thing in
happens.
Miami too. Even in Miami, Pat
Last year,
Riley, that
yeah.
that last press conference where he's just calling LeBron out, and Braun, you know, he I remember he forced him to draft Shabazz Napier, and I was like, oh, cool, a Boston kid's gonna be playing with LeBron. That's cool. And then we got the announcement on Instagram. I'm coming
Yeah.
home. It's like, okay, he does do this everywhere he goes. Oh yeah, no, for sure. But
You're not
yeah,
it's not
this
normal to
Lakers
be in
team
the finals every
sucks.
year. It's not normal to
No,
be in the finals every year.
not at all.
And to get into the finals, if you want to skip all of a rebuilding process or skip a natural progression of an NBA team, it involves sacrifice. You know, it's Hunter Hunter Gone sacrificing all of his nen to become that
Mm,
become an adult and kill Pito at the end in that Chimera Android. That's what it is. It's not. It's like Steph Curry just lets the Warriors do what they do. Draft
yeah,
picks, doesn't freak out when they have a losing season when he got hurt that year. They had a couple bad
he's
seasons.
committed. You
Yeah. And
you
he's
know
just
he's
like,
committed. That's
right.
that's so important. Just having commitment from your guy it goes a long way to having an organization operate healthy and actually contend year in
And
year
being a
out.
part of the
Yeah,
organization. When the going gets bad, it's like, oh, these guys, right? I can't believe I'm playing with these guys. No, you're a fucking
yeah.
team. It
Pat
should
Riley
not
told him.
always, which is like Kobe always. I didn't see this with Kobe. Like I didn't see like obviously Kobe had some bad supporting casts too,
He
but
had that one moment he requested a trade, I guess, when he was
yeah,
just done with them. But he came back. He stayed.
right.
He had a moment, which is normal, but he's not blowing up an organization.
And he expected a
Gets
lot out of his
emotional.
teammates, maybe to a detriment, but
Yeah,
he didn't. It was never like, oh, look at these guys, right? It was like, hey, asshole. He wasn't going to the media. I mean, maybe he would sometimes in frustration. Kobe was definitely not perfect, but he'd go to
yeah.
them and he'd fucking be a psychopath to them. But I don't. The poor Braun stuff does not work for me at all. Look at the big picture. Look at the track
So it's
record. This
so
is
it's
what it
fuck
is.
Braun.
Enjoy. It's not fuck Braun either. I enjoy watching
The
him.
title of this podcast is fuck Braun. No, I feel you. Yeah, yeah. It's fair. Yeah, I know. He created the situation and he's
Yeah,
shown us to do that time in time out. But boy, is it a sad scene sometimes in these
it's a
games.
sad team, but I found myself rooting for them
Yeah,
versus Memphis last
yeah.
Friday,
Me too. I'm having.
which was funny,
I'll have little moments where I actually want to win. Want them to win. Yeah, it is funny.
which has never happened
Um,
before.
but
But
yeah,
yeah,
never.
you want to move on to
Guess I can wrap up NBA talk.
yeah, now we're gonna move on to our fun segments. So real quick, we could do this together
Yeah.
and then we'll do the draft. You pick one, I pick one. But for this, we'll do it together. We're making one booth here. So worst booth. Let's create the
Okay.
worst booth. You could pick three guys.
Three guys.
All right,
Okay.
we'll do it because there are three-man booths sometimes. For the sake of the argument, we'll do three guys, and then you can pick somebody on the field, like interviewing
Hmm.
players, like a Michelle DeFoya. So who comes to
Okay. I
mind?
didn't even think
Worst
of
booth
them.
possible.
So give you three names right now,
Or all right, let's do this together. So
or
I
give you one name and then you give me one name.
yeah, who do you think is the worst
There's some
play-by-play guy? Who do you
bad
think is the worst play-by-play?
right now.
Is it Mark Jones?
mm, it's between Mark Jones and Romo, bro. Those are the first two guys on my
Well,
list.
I mean play
Those
by play, like the
sickos.
guy, not the color. Romo's a color analyst.
Oh, so like Nance, yeah. Play by play, yeah, it has to be. Yeah, it's Mark Jones. definitely. Yeah, I don't even have another guy on my list. There's
Tessitore was
probably
terrible. The old Monday Night Football guy. He
is either
wasn't
that's the
fun.
referee, right? Or no,
No,
no.
that's what's that guy's name? He might be Gene Steratore, something like that.
Tesserator. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. That's what I'm doing.
Let's
Tesserator.
bring in
Okay.
Gene.
So
Yeah,
I'm not too familiar with his game. Yeah. Okay, so Tesserator is
because he
Tesserator is the
was
worst
only
for you?
well, he doesn't even count because he doesn't do it anymore. He sucked. He did for 1 year and no more. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, let's say Mark Jones.
Mark Jones. Mark Jones takes the cake, bro. He's so corny. Like,
Yeah,
oh my God.
everything's
You
a
try to
fucking
throw in some
reference.
like urban hip term for no reason. Like, bro, we get it. Like, that was not needed at that. Yeah, he's always as the kids would say, and he'd just say something so cringe.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, he's at the top of my list. He does Sacramento Kings games too,
that's funny.
which I found out this year. Yeah, I thought I was fucking dreaming. I'm like, am I hearing Mark Jones right now calling the game? And it's like, yeah, Kyle Draper's with them too. Old Celtics guy,
Oh
right?
yeah, I walked by him in
Yeah,
Copley once. Um,
that's funny. But yeah, Mark Jones is number one for me,
so
bro.
you say
Dude's
Romo.
so
You say Romo. Do we
Romo
count
is
Dungy?
just
Do we count Dungy? If we count Dungy,
done.
Dungy's way worse than Romo. Come on.
Yo, yeah. Dungy's disgusting. But but Dungy's like, we're getting doses of it being real. Like, we're getting Dungy
You
what,
don't want to
twice a
count
year,
Dungy
three
then.
times a
We
year.
haven't got enough Dungy for
Yeah,
him to
I
count.
guess I don't. Yeah, if we could, yeah, right, exactly. Romo, it's like, bro, it's hell. I literally
So
envision
why?
like,
Explain why it's bad. Because
first of all,
I did get a
yeah,
headache once.
it's
I
so
did get a
fucking
headache. I
bad,
was like,
bro.
why
I
do I have a
actually
headache?
hate him.
And I realized Romo was
Yeah,
just
because
screaming at my
Romo's
ear for 30 minutes straight.
buzzing in your ear like it's a Black Mirror episode, and he's fucking your brain up, bro. That's why, bro. Nah, Romo is horrible. First of all, he has to be right every time. Like, because I think the whole like before COVID, the whole like Romo's Stradamus or whatever, where he's predicting plays, and it was kind of cool when it first started. I think that
Definitely.
whole thing happened and it kind of blew up. And I think he saw it blow up, of course, which is great for his career, but he definitely took that shit to the head. Because now, and you texted me this, like, bro, he doesn't even let dudes finish their conversation. I
No.
remember the last game. Was it the last game or when they played the Dolphins? I forgot which game it was, but it was one of these last two Bills games. And Tessitore's like explaining the rule. I think it was the Bengals game. He's explaining the rule, and then the referee is coming out about to like basically tell us what the play is. They do their little announcement or whatever. And Romo's like, yeah, actually, so yeah, da 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 da. He like finishes his point, and then
Yeah.
Tessitore comes back because he has enough respect to let the referee announce what we're listening for. Like that's the whole point of them doing that. He's not doing it for himself. Like he knows there's people at home in the stadium that need to know what just happened. Romo saw that as an opportunity to show like he's sound smart, whatever the case may be. And then Romo does that, finishes Gene's point, and then Gene's like, yeah, just like Romo interrupted. He said some slick shit where it wasn't wrecked, but you can tell he was sick.
Yeah.
And then even Jim Nance, like I'll hear Jim Nance kind of just be like, all right. He'll just try to like move on from the point. Romo will talk, he'll make a prediction and he'll just gloss over it for 5 minutes. And Nance is like, okay, there's like a whole game going on right now, dude. Get on your fucking head. But yeah, that was a rant. Damn. But yeah, Romo gets me
Damn,
sick, bro.
Romo's up there
So
for you, huh?
he's really up there. He's just so full of himself. I could tell. Him and Martin Jones probably worse. I don't even know who's worse.
RJ?
That's hell.
RJ. So
RJ's
RJ,
bad. RJ's bad too. RJ's real. Yeah. RJ grew on me, and then he got bad again, bro.
yeah.
I think he got the ESPN gig, and he's doing primetime games, and that. Hey man, some guys they just spotlight gets on them, and they start getting
Mark
weird.
Jones, I'm like 50-50 with. Sometimes like this works. This works for me. And sometimes I'm like,
Sometimes it's a
not Mark
comforting
Jones, I'm sorry.
voice.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson. I was gonna say,
Mark Jones is our worst play-by-play guy. He's the worst guy
yeah.
up there.
Oh, I definitely just went to the gulag real quick. Yeah, I was gonna say Mark Jones. Like sometimes if it's a late like Phoenix Denver game and he's not being weird, like I can have him on. Like it's kind of a comforting late night voice with him. But when he tries to do the whole performance thing, it's like, all right, bro, like it's just cringe. Stop, please. We don't want to hear this.
What are we gonna do with
So
what
yeah, I
about
guess
Hubie
Mark is bad.
Brown?
He's the worst.
What about Hubie? Nah, we can't do
Hubie.
Hubie. No, we love Hubie.
Yeah, Hubie. Like Hubie can say It could be LeBron. Hubie can fucking say Mahomes just shot a three, and Rajon Rondo, who's not even in the league right now, contested the shot, and he can break that play down for me. He don't know who's on the court, and I'll still love it because it's Hubie. So Hubie would
He's a
never be on this
sweetheart.
list.
Nah,
Yeah,
he
Hubie.
really just be like he'll just literally tell you
I
what
love
happened on the
Hubie, bro.
court, even though you can obviously see what it was.
And you see that guy just dribbled, and the ball left his hands at a pretty fast rate, and he could shoot it. So when he let go of the ball, it went in the net, and that's what happens when you got a shooter like this guy. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
oh, that
that's
was
not much of an
exactly what
exaggeration at
happened.
all.
No, yeah, he literally describes what's happening, bro.
But like, for example, I think this
Put
is
on some bot
legit.
shit.
Yeah, it would be like so you see Jokic has TJ McConnell on him. McConnell's obviously
Yeah,
much shorter than him. Jokic, easy turnaround off the glass. Like something so obvious.
yeah.
That doesn't need to be explained to them. But yeah, just wanted to throw Hubie in there while we're on the. So
Yeah.
that's all right. So we got Mark Jones, we got Romo. So damn, Romo's the
For
worst.
me, Romo, you're probably gonna see it now, bro. Now you're gonna start listening to him more. You're gonna like what? And he probably was just like sort of tuning him out. Because I do that sometimes too with Mark Jones. It's like, oh, okay, like I'll just tune him out. Like I'll just it's like a background noise. But I don't know. This year, it started last year for me, but this year, I think especially when they're doing the big games, because that's when I'm really trying to listen to what the guys have to say. And I'm like, wow, Romo just seems like a horrible time to like it's a horrible hang, bro. So yeah, Romo's and Mike Jones, oh, they're definitely at the top of the list. I had
I
I had some
guess
other names. I had Doris Burke. Doris Burke.
I'm not as high on her as everybody else is either.
Yeah, yeah. That's like she
She
just
she
kind
get
of cringe
she tries
too.
to fucking preach, and it's like shut up.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
I hate when they start to preach or she like feels the need to defend somebody
Yeah.
who
It's
just has
exactly yes.
sucked.
Yeah, that's literally what she does. Like Embiid will have just went to the free throw like seven straight times playing nasty boy ball, and Doris would be like, and this is why he doesn't get enough love from, why he's not getting the
Right.
votes and MVP race, but he's really a great player. It's like I hated what I just seen. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
So yeah, that's Doris. Um, this is I told you, bro, this is gonna be a funny ass segment. I had Dungy written down. This was the one I told you I didn't reveal it to you when we were texting, but I wanted to bring it up. I I mean it's kind of funny, so maybe he shouldn't be on this list. But I was watching a Blazers game, and it was some weird fucking like telecast stream where um fucking Bill Walton is calling the
Oh,
game,
Bill
and
Walton's hilarious, but yeah,
he's
he
hilarious.
doesn't know what planet he's on half the time.
Joe, he did not, bro. It was a weird ass experience.
He wasn't even
So
talking about
he's like
basketball, was he?
he kind of was. He was, but like he was. I guess the whole theme of his show was like some fucking Hawaiian shit. Like he's in a Hawaiian shirt, and like he's in some studio in the background. It's like really Hawaiian themed, which is kind of weird already. And then like the guy, he's calling it with some other guy, and you can tell the other guy's like trying to call the game, like tell us what's going on, give us some stats, do a normal job. And Bill Walton is like, yeah, I'm not rooting for the Blazers, but that was a terrible call. And it wasn't even a bad call. And then he's just like completely disregarded. You don't know what you're talking about. He's yelling at him, bro. And the guy's like trying to turn it into a joke, but like Bill Walton's just abusing him.
Jesus.
That if I was that kid, that must have been hell. I know like there's like probably there's no one who listens to this podcast who knows the exact moment I'm talking about, but
Right.
I'm like, yeah, there's some people in Portland that no one knows what I'm talking about. But that was so awkward and just yeah, it was awkward to watch, bro. So I'll throw him in there just because I saw him recently. And that's it, bro. That's probably the nightmare announcer booth for me. Those
Yeah.
characters in some rotation.
I remember
Worst
at
duo is probably Mark Jones and Romo. That's
yeah.
you give us that, bro. You might as well just make me drink bleach or something. What were you gonna say?
Phil Sims got pretty lame at the end when he subbed them out. They subbed them out
Oh,
for Romo.
he was the
He was
last
just
one.
very
Yeah,
boring. I was just like, I'm
was
not learning
he?
anything right now.
Okay, I wasn't paying attention because I thought I liked Sims, but I'm
Maybe you
trying to think
did.
like why I liked him. But no, but like I don't know why I liked him. So you're probably right.
Maybe it was
He
fatigue for
was
me. I
probably
don't
late.
know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like Olson.
Olsen's good. I like
I like
Olsen.
the random
I
dudes you
like
get on Fox, like the
his
Dick
team.
Stockton and Daryl Johnson.
Yeah. Daryl
Uh,
Johnson. I don't know the other big guy, but I know Daryl Johnson. That voice
Dick
I
Stockton
remember.
like calls the game. When you get fucking Marv Albert's Kenny Albert, when you get Marv Albert's son on those random
Yeah,
ass games, Iron Eagle,
yeah.
Iron
Iron
Eagle,
Eagle. Iron Eagle's a goat because
yeah,
man, this guy will do a that and then he'll do a Nets game the next night, and he'll just give you Birdie. We
he's
call him
been
Birdie
doing it
in
for
Brooklyn.
years.
Yeah, shout out
Um,
Birdie.
who else is good? Dan Deerdorf. Do you remember those Deerdorf
Yeah,
days? Yup.
the
Them
OG.
Sunday 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
good one. Greg Gumbel, he's I
Greg
kind of
Gumbel.
comforting voice, comforting 1 o'clock voice too.
That
AFC
brings me
East
back.
game
These are just nostalgic voices to me
because
right
these are
now.
all Patriots games. These
Yeah,
are
these
all
are
Patriots
all
versus Jets 1 o'clock.
Foxborough, New England. Uh,
Yeah. Oh my God,
Patriots
I'd be in my
hosting
living
the.
room drinking a can of Pepsi, sick as hell because we're losing.
Shit. Who else? I don't want to leave anybody out. I
Akeem
mean, I
Talib
like
had a
Aikman.
little. He had a
Yep.
nice little run last year, but
I,
I don't know what happened. I didn't really see him this year.
I
Oh
like
yeah,
I
Joe and
like Buck and
Troy. Yeah,
Aikman. I like Buck and
yeah,
Aikman. They got a lot of shit
yeah,
for years. I like
yeah.
Aikman. Just keeps it real. If he's
He
pissed, if
does.
he thinks something sucks, he'll just say
He'll
it.
yeah, he'll let you know what he's feeling. I appreciate that. And then Joe's just the perfect like, just sort of holds your hand and just walks you through the whole game.
Yeah.
That's a good team.
I mean, Joe will always forever be in my heart for the Patriots. I mean, they narrated the Patriots
The
comeback,
comeback. Brady has his fifth.
and then
Right?
Michaels,
Is that how it goes?
and yeah, Mike, yeah, he's in. Patriots
He's
in the Super
in.
Bowl. Yeah.
He has
Uh,
his fifth. I
hope
didn't hear him
Gene's
saying
not
that
listening
fifth.
right now. Every episode, Gene, we're gonna bring it up every episode.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then Collinsworth and fucking
Tarico's one of those.
Tarico. Yeah, Tarico's all right. He
Yeah,
did
he's
a
just
good
all
call
right.
for the Bengals 99.
He
That was a
did.
good
Yeah,
call.
it was.
Uh,
Um, yeah, that's Al.
Alan
Al's probably
Chris.
Al might be seeing the end,
Yes,
unfortunately.
definitely.
I didn't like his he had to work with Kirk Herbstreit the whole year, which wasn't great, but yeah. I don't
Gus
know. That's
Johnson.
all the guys.
Gus John. I know
Oh
you
yeah,
Gus
the
Johnson.
classic.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
Um, there's one more guy I'm thinking. Oh, just random radio guy for Celtics who also does their road games now. Sean Grandy. He's good. Mike
He does
Gorman's
the
good.
road games.
I
Okay,
like
yeah, Mike
Scal.
Gorman's good.
Scal's comfy.
Scouts, he's solid. He's
He keeps it
solid.
real.
Yeah,
Like he's another guy. Like Mike Gorman's so used to Tommy Heinsohn that like
yeah,
when Scal's like, no, actually that was actually a good call.
yeah, yeah.
Mike
That's
Gorman's like, really?
against offensive foul. Marcus Smart. Yeah.
Yeah. We could
Yeah.
move
Local
on though.
guys. Yeah, we can.
We could wrap it up here with let's do five each. We each get five. Do you want the first pick?
Okay.
Because I think we all know who the first pick is. So you get
Yeah.
you get pick four athletes, could be basketball or football, and then pick one guy to run the show. So like the guy in the middle who didn't
Okay.
play.
Oh, I like
Like
that
the
like the
host of the
Ernie,
show who's like, I'm throwing at you, I'm throwing at
the
you, that
host.
guy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So hosting two nuts basically is what I'm aiming for. Okay.
And then but you get four players, former players.
Former players. So they can
Four
be any
former
former
players.
player.
Basketball and football, yeah. Well,
They don't
no.
have to,
Who you
but
see on a
that are
show?
that
Who you
that
see
are
on
still
yeah.
active. Okay. 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 Yeah, okay.
Get
Gotcha.
you. I
That's
want
what I thought. I
Brady
wanted to make sure.
or
Yeah.
fucking
Brady, Katie. I'm happy. No, no, no. Okay, I got you. You want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
you can go first.
All right. First of all, I gotta take Charles Barkley.
Ah,
I'm
you took
getting,
him.
I'm getting like, yeah, I'm getting views just off him because you don't know what the hell he's gonna say. Yeah, Chuck is first. Just the absolute maniac has given us classic moments. Yeah, he's my first pick.
All
You
right.
probably that's your first pick, right? You would have
He
picked
would have been
Charles.
my first pick, but I'll take Ernie Johnson so you don't get Ernie. I'll
That's
take
what.
Ernie Johnson
Yeah,
to run the show.
you just stopped me from creating a dynasty.
But there's some other guys who are really good at what they do too. But you can go
So
on.
Ernie's your host. I gotta think of a host, bro, because you know who's a good host. I like him,
There's a
Rich
lot of good.
Eisen.
Oh, he's great. He's
Rich
great.
Eisen is yeah. He's gonna run point guard for us.
Okay.
We're
That's
doing the
already a
rec
great
set.
duo. That's already a
Yeah,
great duo.
I like Rich Eisen. I used to hear he had a podcast. I would hear it once in a while.
Yeah,
I
he's
haven't
done
heard him
some good
since.
interviews. I
He's
think he
good
has a
though.
radio show too.
Yeah, he does his thing. So I got Chuck and Rich Eisen.
So
You
all
got
those are
Ernie.
our we both have our guys who are gonna run point. Some other guys I
Yeah,
think I mentioned are good. Kurt Menefee.
I thought of him. I thought that yeah, he's a good one. I thought of
Uh
JB.
James
Uh,
Brown.
yeah.
Um
I think he's the only two I thought of.
Boom.
Oh,
Boomer?
oh, Boomer. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Teach?
definitely. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, because like he's not even. Yeah, he's still relevant. Yeah, Boomer. Um, Susie Colbert. That was just a random name I wanted to say,
The
but
worst is Susie's super random.
I
That's
know.
like that's got to be like the least like fun show is the NFL guy. Even though they're not terrible, like they used to have
Wait, which
Dilfer on there
one's
and shit. But the
Susie Booger
ESPN football
and
guy, yeah, and Adam Schefter,
Booger's Booger is funny, but like he's not funny in that capacity. Like when he comes on Priscilla,
yeah.
he's a nut, but
The
he's a nut.
worst,
He's had some crazy
the
moments on
worst crew
Priscilla.
is Michelle Tafoya, Jason Garrett, and Tony Dungy. That is
Oh yeah,
that might
yeah,
be the
yeah, yeah.
worst. That might be the worst halftime show in history.
The Maria Taylor.
Maria
Yeah,
Taylor, right? Yeah,
yeah. No, that's an egregious group right there. Because, but you know what? It actually might be so bad that like I'll tune in. I'll tune in to hear what stupid shit Jason Garrett's gonna say.
yeah.
So they might have that working for them. But yeah, you're right. No, all in all, that's a bad experience. But yeah, it's your pick is yours, Gabe. You're on the clock, my friend.
I'm gonna take our boy Michael Irvin.
Oh, okay. You have fireworks now. Your show is going to be
Now it's
fireworks.
not, yeah, it's insane.
You've
Now
guaranteed, yeah.
like that big boy go.
Oh my God. He's just gonna start screaming for no reason. Um, damn, that's a good pick. And Ernie, I think he can work with Michael Irvin's personality. So
Definitely.
you got something going there. All right, so this is my last pick, right?
Well, no, you get four players, so
Oh,
you
are we
get
doing four? We're doing.
yeah, like
Oh, I got
a
okay. So
whole show.
I got okay, okay. Why am I thinking three? I don't know. I was thinking boost. That's why. All right. All right. Well, I gotta. I mean, this feels like a cheap, like obvious answer, but he's so good now. Actually, damn. No, there's some guys. Hold on. Let me think. There's some guys. Damn. I gotta take Kenny because I
Ah, I
think
hate
I
you. You're
get
being lame. You're
yeah.
just gonna take the fucking.
I gotta be lame and take the good pick, bro. Because Kenny's gonna get more out of
I
Chuck
was
from
gonna
me.
take
Like
him.
Kenny's gonna get like I'm gonna get some real sick Charles Barkley. Kenny's the guy who when he likes to when I remember when they did the San Antonio women shit and Barkley just they like literally start the show trying not to talk about it. I've gone on these YouTube rabbit holes of just whole
Yeah,
segments of their show, by the way, like 10
definitely.
minutes just of them at halftime. I'm not even watching anything about anything else but that. But Barkley's just doing the like the whole show. I think last week he lost his mind and was saying they couldn't get in those big old bloomers, just blacking out. And then this week, like it's like a kind of like an apology, but like they'll antagonize. So they start the show teasing it and how Barkley's like, yeah, last week, obviously, Barkley said some hurtful things. And then they did one of those like interviews where some girl that worked for TNT, she went out into the San Antonio streets and like started interviewing like women in San Antonio. And like she was asking like, did you hear Charles Barkley said this? And like, yeah, Charles Barkley's fat, he likes donuts. Like that's what the girls were saying. Like, random civilians. And then Charles Barkley's like, all right, first of all, I want to like I love San Antonio. I love it all. I love their food. It's a great place. And he doesn't want to mention the woman. And then Kenny's like, yeah, but how else do you feel about it? And Charles like, I love it. It's a great place, man. Like
Yeah,
he's just trying not to do it. And then finally, Kenny, this is just Kenny just being fucking masterful on that show. He goes, how long? Because so mind you, all the women that were interviewed in that little segment were like, kind of, a buck
not the
30, a
women,
buck
not the
20.
women. Well, not
Yeah.
yeah.
Some models, some Instagram models, to be fair. Kenny goes, how long do you think it took whatever her name was to find all those women? And then it's like, it took all day, man. Are you serious? And it's like that's what I get with Kenny basically is the whole point of me sharing that little story. So yeah, Kenny is
I
that's
remember
my three right there.
I saw a segment similar to that, I think, and he was like, they must have brought those women in from Dallas.
Oh my God. And Shaq just starts choking on his water in the corner anytime Barkley says that. Nah, man, they got it. So yeah, okay, so yeah, Kenny's my third pick, and
Okay.
I gotta think of this fourth one while you go because I don't know.
I'll take Howie Long.
That's a good one. I
He's
was
just
thinking of
mad.
Fox guy.
He's just mad cozy.
He
He's
is
probably my favorite guy on either of the network. Uh,
good podcast
yeah.
guest. Remember when he came on
Oh, he
for
was fantastic on Simmons.
Bill's show? Yeah, yeah. Okay, Howie Long. That's a good pick. Okay, my last and final pick. Oh man, I'm trying to think of like how I want the dynamic of this show to pan out. So I have Chuck.
Just take
I have
Shaq.
Kenny.
Just take Shaq.
I no, but like Shaq. I might as well, and I just have the inside crew. I mean, but then I'm really just doing the inside
You
crew.
could take Dennis Scott. Don't forget the NBA TV people who
3D,
never actually get
yeah,
that.
those are sleepers. Yeah, Jamal Crawford has some random moments on there.
Yeah. Candace Parker. Isaiah Thomas is always on.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's Candace. It's
You're
Candace.
taking Candace. Wow.
I think I'm gonna take Candace. I want to have like another knowledgeable person. Rich is just gonna run point guard. Kenny's gonna give me facts. Chuck is gonna say some nut shit. And then I don't know, Candace is kind of like, does that make it boring though? I'm actually really thinking how this show would like how I would sit down on my couch and like view this experience. Would Candace be fun? I like her though, but do I like her because she's with like two idiots? So she kind of, you know, but she's also really pretty. Yeah, okay, I'll take Candace.
Okay. Candace
I'll take
Parker.
Candace. Yeah,
I won't
probably
take him.
some really good people that I forgot.
We only said basketball and football, but for hockey, I know. Did you ever listen to that Barstool pod they had way back? Or the not the PMT guys when they had on the guys from the hockey podcast they have called Spit and Chicklets. They were so
I think I
funny.
remember that.
One
Yeah,
of them is on the TNT hockey like halftime
that's
show. He's
right.
very
Because
funny.
they
And Wayne
are on
Gretzky is
TNT.
also on that, and he's very like
Okay,
chill vibes. So they're both up there. But in the spirit of basketball, I could take Jalen Rose. I could take
I like
Wilbon.
that. Oh, Wilbon, man, I'm glad you mentioned him
Maybe
because
I'll take Wilbon.
that's a good pick. That's a great pick. I'm glad you did that because you freed him from those shackles he has to deal with Stephen A. just blabbering nonsense. But I tell you, every time I have them on and it's a halftime show, Jalen Rose will just try to say like it was zag, and you just know it's a zag with Jalen. Like he'll just say something that he just wants to zag. The host is the host. Stephen A. is just blabbering nonsense, yelling, and then Wubon's just sitting there in the middle, so sad. Probably doesn't even want to really be there, but you know they're giving him a bag. So yeah, Wubon, you freed him from some shackles. So yeah, I like that pick. Damn, so that's four. That's the
Yeah.
team.
So
So
you
all right, one
have
more time. Are you want me to go? Okay, so I had Chuck, I had Rich Eisen,
Kenny.
I had Kenny, and then I had Candace Parker.
You're all basketball. You just switched
I
out
want like a
Kenny.
sub for Candace. Yeah, Rich Eisen, and then I want like a sub for Candace. Can we have like a sub
Sure.
when like because you know sometimes we'll get it where one of
Yeah.
them is not there. Like Ernie right now, I think he's not there.
Right.
Who's my? Because yeah, let's get a sub in. Man, it has to be like a nut. I need a nut, bro. Because if I'm gonna have Candace on there, I need the night where we're just going full nut mode. Oh damn, Michael Irving was such a great pick. I mean, I can't take
He's a
the other
psycho.
NFL guys because
Well, there's
they're
Mooch.
all Mooch is a good one. Yeah, I'll probably take Mooch. Mooch is a nut. Yeah, I'll take Mooch. He's not like a Michael Irvin, Charles Barkley level nut, but he's a nut.
He's fun. Yeah.
I'll probably, I think I'll take Mooch. Yeah.
Damn. So who would I do for my sub? So I went
Warren
through the
Sapp, you can't
ESPN
take him.
show. Shaq's still on the board, but Shaq
Shaq
just
is
doesn't
on the
work.
board.
He
Yeah, he
doesn't
just
work if
doesn't
he's
work.
not with. But like
Those
Shaq
guys.
is like we don't give Shaq we give Shaq a little too much shit. Like I still think
Are we
Shaq's
shitting?
obviously very charismatic and has knowledge to bestow upon us, but
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
next to those two. It's just like um
He's just like, if you're not a center that's dominating, you suck. And if you like attack Shaq a little bit, he's so insecure. Like he'll just have a meltdown if you like say one thing that's bad
right.
about him on the show. I'm like afraid of that. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I want him with us.
You know who was fantastic was Steve Kerr. when he was doing it.
Yo,
Those
yes,
open
bro,
courts, those
yes.
NBA open
Because he
courts
was
that you
calling.
watch.
Ah, man, I, those were good too. But I was watching like highlights of. I was going down a KD rabbit hole so I could beat off. But I was watching. Nah, what game was it, bro? It wasn't when KD dropped 31 on the Warriors. It was a game. It was a game Steve Kerr did. Yo, you know what it was? This was so weird. I think it was when Ray Allen joined Miami and they played their first game against Boston. It was like to start the regular season. Remember that game?
Yep.
Celtics Heat.
I think I was
And
at
Steve
that
Kerr.
game.
Okay, wow, that's lit. Steve Kerr called that game, and I was just like, bro, this guy was great when he was doing TV, and when he was just like in that capacity. So that's funny. I literally had that thought earlier this
Very likable
weekend.
guy. Yeah.
He is, yeah, he is, he is.
I had one and I lost him. Uh,
Studio guys, I can't think of any others.
I think I was going basketball. No, I
Well,
wasn't.
so we
No, I was
because
going football.
basketball.
I think I was gonna say Nate Burleson.
That's a good one too.
But, I'm so football
He's
heavy. But I guess I'll go
he's
Nate
like the
Burleson.
he's like the Kenny Smith of football.
Yeah, yeah, he's good. He's
Very
good.
knowledgeable, reasonable guy. He is good. That's a good one. Okay, that's a good sub. That's a strong sub. You don't lose anything. Damn, so that's our draft.
That's our draft. Very. I have a way. You definitely win. Your people mesh way better. I have
What
a
was the
very
first
weird
pick?
team of Ernie Johnson, Michael Irving, Howie Long. It's not as bad, but it's like this is missing something. Will Bond and Nate Burleson.
It's a good team. I'm tuning into that. I'm definitely tuning into that.
And the
But
worst
yeah,
studio show actually exists. It's the NBC show is as bad. Those Jason Garrett and Tony Dungy is as bad as it gets.
yeah.
Like you can't
Yeah.
swap any like that. That is as bad as it
That's
gets.
the worst. Yeah, that's the worst of the worst. We probably already answered this. What would be your worst booth combo then? Would it be Mark Jones and Romo?
I guess
Like,
so. You made the
like
case for Romo. Like he actually it's given me a headache.
yeah,
Uh we'll see though.
yeah.
I'm still giving him a chance to like bounce back. I do think there might be a little Romo fatigue. And I
He
think
was
he's
good.
still
He was
fairly
good
new
when he
to
first
it.
started.
So we'll give
That's true
him
too. That's
I,
fair. That's a
I'm
fair
not gonna be
point.
like, oh fuck this guy, like as a person. It's just, dude, figure it out.
He's just so man, he's so full of himself though. Like you can hear it. But yeah, it's just I think it's a he got pretty famous quickly and then like you're in the booth. I could see that happening to a lot of people. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
all I have though.
And that's the show.
That
Uh
is the show.
we will be back next week to talk about preview the Super Bowl and maybe I'll give a little quick Jay before we go. Royal Rumble's this Saturday. I know you don't watch wrestling. Just give me
Yeah.
who you think is gonna win the Royal Rumble. Just like off
Well,
the top
that's
of your head.
I'm afraid I might say a guy that doesn't even wrestle anymore. But
That
you told
that's
me The
that's what I'm
Rock
going for
might
here.
come back.
It's what people think might happen. We'll see.
If that's true, they're probably gonna give it. Nah, would they give it to him, or is that just some
It's
dumb
weird,
shit?
right? So the
Like, why is he coming back? I guess it's just to have that like quick little the moment of the crowd
it would
going
be him
crazy and
versus
get the
Roman
viral
Reigns,
clip.
basically. It would be for him versus Roman Reigns, who's his cousin or some shit.
Oh,
But
at WrestleMania, like that would be the main event if he was to win.
right, yeah,
I guess that could be a storyline that people will probably fuck with. I see
WrestleMania,
the
yep.
vision. I see the vision. I guess
And
if
it's
he
in
wins,
Hollywood, and The Rock's a movie star, and we'll see. All right, yeah,
Cena is not going to be in this, right? Cena's just
probably
a
not.
corpse now. Yeah, I was watching an old clip of when he returned that Royal Rumble,
Yeah,
where
I
it was
watched
him,
that earlier
Triple
today,
H,
actually.
and
Yeah,
Batista,
in New
and then
York, yeah,
yeah, that was such. Oh my god, I just felt chills when he entered, and everyone goes crazy. It's like,
yeah.
oh, what a
Because I
fucking
guess
talent.
that year he was supposed to be out like 4 more months. People were like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
Supposed to still be hurt.
yeah, it was a big surprise.
But yeah,
Oh,
we'll
so
see.
good.
We'll see. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was a good show. It was good to talk to you again, Jay. And
yeah,
everybody, please listen and share. And next week we'll be back to talk about the upcoming Super Bowl. We'll see ya.
can't wait.